Hello, good day, people. It's me, Victor Adeshokon, and I'm here with the continuation of the series that we started a few days back, which was a week ago, which is on parenthood. And in that podcast, which was the last series, I told us that we shall be having another series on the title, What Parents Should Do with Their Children. Yes, basically, this podcast is for parents and parents to be, even young individuals, to come to the realization that they have a whole lot of responsibility to take over their children. I made mention in the last podcast that we have parents whose only responsibility over their children is to provide the money for their feeding. And after that, that's all. They don't care about their emotional stability. They don't care about their level of intelligence. They don't care about how responsible their children are. And these are a few things we shall be trashing and looking into in today's series. And the title is, What Should Parents Do with Their Children? What should parents do with their children? Now, basically, as a parent, you have a major responsibility to be the leader of your home, and most importantly, the father. Now, I quickly want to break this down and to make it as easy as possible. In the African setting, we believe that the father is the head of the family, is the total authority, the supreme authority of the home. But at the same time, people also make reference to the fact that without the mother, there can't be a home. Yes, especially in the Yoruba-speaking part of Nigeria, in Africa. They believe if as a mother, you don't take care of your home, of your children, then probably the mother is a useless being. Of course, they believe that the major responsibility of the home, managing the home, managing the economy of the home, of the household, is basically a duty or responsibility of the mother. Why they believe that bringing about resources, the financial activities, is basically for the father. Well, whichever one of the theories or principles you believe in, everything is actually very important. Now, in this podcast, I want you to understand the fact that the father, yes, is the head of the family, but that doesn't make the mother less powerful. Yes, it doesn't make her less of any responsibility within the home. But fathers should always know that there is a strength in their arm that they can exert on their children when it comes to enforcing obedience. Yes. Now, every child believes that the father is the head. And by that, there is a level of responsibility every child wants to see or feel from the father. But in a situation where the father dropped those responsibilities or duties to the mother, then it's as if in the other way around, the father has transferred his authority to the mother. And that's why in some homes, you see that the mother is firmer while the father is softer. In some homes, the father is softer, then the mother is firmer. But most importantly, children in the home, they obey more the person outside the father or mother that they are closer to. Children will always obey and they will always be influenced by people who are much more closer to them. If you check homes where the father is closer to the child, you will find out that that child obeys that parent more than the other. Why? Because that child spends more time with that particular parent. That child stays more with that particular parent. That child speaks or communicates more with that particular parent, which makes it very important for parents, either the father or the mother, both parties, to make sure that they exert a level of responsibility over their children. And by that, it brings a positive influence from both the mother and the father. Now, let me ask you, as a parent, what do you do with your child? What should your child know? And at what time? What age should you start training your child? Now, training of a child starts from immediately the child is given birth to. We do say education is from cradle to death. Exactly. So you start training, start educating your children from that point that you give birth to them till death, till you do not have them around you anymore. Probably you died or you've grown so old. Exactly. And they are somewhat very matured that they can manage and handle their lives. Exactly. So a parent or parents, whichever one applies to you, should always see themselves as leaders. Leaders are influencers. They are people who show the way. They don't just show it, they also go the same way. Which means if you, as a parent, would show your children the way, it must also be a way you are treading. Yes, go that same way. For instance, let me give you an example. I'm trying to open up what parents should do with their children. Now, a father who drinks, like alcoholic drink, and not just drinking, he drinks to stupor, that they have to come and pick him from the gutter today, and tomorrow they pick him from the roadside, and next tomorrow they pick him from one dumping site. Why? Because he's always drunk and drinking to stupor. He drinks that he becomes so unconscious. Nothing in his environment concerns him at that time that he's drunk. Now, that kind of father who drinks and drinks to stupor, what kind of training should he give to his child? Will you tell your child, don't drink to stupor? Or you tell them, don't drink at all? Or you tell them, run away from alcoholic drinks? How do you train them? What value do you transmit and transfer to that particular child? The same thing you do. You don't want them to do it, but you do it. They see it. And children learn by imitation. One of the ways children learn is through imitation. So whatever you do, they will do. They will imitate you. They will follow your trend. They will follow your footstep. So that same path that you don't want your children to follow, the same route you don't want them to pass through, you are passing through the same place. So it's not possible such instruction would work. They will never listen to such authority. Take it or leave it. Whatever you do will influence them. They see you. They hear you when you talk. They can perceive your feelings and attitudes. They know your behaviors in the home. So the same thing you do is what they will do. So when you are a talker and you are not a doer, the same thing they would be. They will follow your influence. It will only take God himself to convince them that they should not drink, even when their father drinks and drinks to stupor. So as a parent, we are examples to our children. The same life we want our children to live is the same way we should train them. And that's what they should also see. If you're a father, you're a mother, you have kids at home. If you tell them, hello, Jane, I don't want you to touch this TV whenever I'm not at home. Yes, that's an instruction. Awesome. But you know what? You should give them the reasons for not touching the TV. While growing up, my parents, sometimes they don't give me instruction on what to do or what not to do until I have made a mistake. It is then they will now tell you, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. Then they will smack you. You will get disciplined for that. It is then they will now remember the things they did not say 100 years back. They will start pouring everything down. Whereas they are meant to have given a prior information to that time, so that whenever that child makes such mistake, he will know that he will be disciplined. He will be punished for that. But you never told your children that this, and that are wrong. When they now make mistakes, you want to beat them. You want to punish them. It is wrong on your own part as a father, as a mother, as a parent, even as a guardian. It is wrong. Even if you are a teacher in their school, if you've never given an instruction concerning an issue, You should not punish that child or discipline that child concerning that issue. Probably you can just correct them softly. Not like you shouldn't say anything or you should not budge about what the wrong attitude might be. But since you never gave any prior commandments or instruction to that, then you should not be harsh or hard on them. These are mistakes some of our parents make. I remember several times I've broken glasses, the cups, the plates. I broke them. And my parents would tell me, don't you know we bought this with money? You are so careless. This, that. But growing up, no matter how little a child is, or no matter how grown up a child is, as long as they are still under your roof, you still manage them. You make them to understand and know everything. There is a level of value you should inculcate into them. Don't assume your child knows all. My parents assumed for a long while. You should know this. You should know that. You should know that. How will I know it? Are you leaving your own responsibility to the society or to my school for them to tell me everything I would do? And of course, we don't learn everything in school. Don't you get? We can't learn everything in school. So it is a major responsibility of parents to always tutor their children. All right. Exactly. Tutor them. All right. Tell them what to do, when to do it, and when not to do it. Give them reasons why they should do something. Give them reasons why they should not do it. Training of the children in the 21st century, it's like owning an oil company. It's like you are owning a oil rig. Like the same energy and strength you are going to exert into having an oil business is the same energy you should exert into training your children. But most times, people see the training of the child as something everybody should do. They would say in Yoruba, and I will interpret in English, they will say, Oju ko lo n tomo, igba oju lo n wo, which means it is one person who gives birth to a child. It is 100 people who trains the child. It is not 100% true. Because if you are a responsible parent and you know you are very responsible, then you will not leave the training of your child solely in the hands of people or allow people to manage your children's affairs. And that is why we are having so many issues of rape in the society at the moment. That's why several people complain of rape today. So at this point in time, in everything happening around the world, I want you to know as a parent that one of your major responsibilities is to manage the affairs of your children. First, know who your child is. Not everybody or every parent knows their children. So you should know your child. Some parents think they know their children, but they don't. Now, in my next podcast, in the next series we'll be dropping, I will give you a few examples of parents who don't know their children. They didn't know their children. And to a large extent, I knew some children more than their parents because I was fortunate to counsel and mentor some children. And I was sad at some points that even your parent never knew about this. And you are telling me, can you see? So in my next podcast, we'll continue and I'll tell you more on what parents should do and how they should do those things. What should you do with your child? I hope you enjoy this series. Continue to like, comment, and sharing this podcast. Share with your friends and families. And I'm sure together we can become much more better and we can grow beyond here. Thank you for listening. Till I come your way again next time. Keep growing.